What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? NoZoupForYou here, and got a little bit of news to cover, some development blog information for those of you that do not follow. Couple things out there, actually. Some a little older that I missed, and some a little newer. So we'll cover the new first, and that is the Legend of the Galactic Heroes. The new is coming to the game. The new these. And I have no idea what that is, really. I get that it's anime again. I saw the characters, and they kind of look like individuals from Kevin Smith's He-Man remake, which I haven't watched because I'm not really happy with the direction they took from it. And having seen the original He-Man when I was a young child, it just didn't look like something I wanted to get involved with. However, the characters for this new edition look similar to that animation style. I really don't know what this is. I've never heard of it before. I mean, I had heard of the other stuff before, the other various anime editions that World of Warships has collaborated with. I mean, the ships look interesting, futuristic, strange, odd. They're going to look weird in the game, I guess. But I know some of you like this type of stuff. So if you are a follower of Galactic Heroes or enjoy, I'm assuming it's an anime cartoon. Well, that's kind of redundant, isn't an anime cartoon. I'm sure one of you out there can correct me or let me know what it is exactly. But for those of you that do like it, ships are coming. The Parseval Z-23 Baltimore is going to be one of the ships. So is the Kansas. Also have the Free Planets Alliance Camouflage, along with the Galactic Empire Camouflage, and that sounds very Star Wars-esque, even though it's not. There's going to be crates associated with these, and themes, and everything else. So, you know, if this is up your alley, it's coming your way. You might look forward to it. The rest of you are probably just rolling your eyes saying, why? Don't want any more of this. But, you know, Wargaming always does collaborations like this. There's a huge market for it, especially in Asia. So it makes sense. It makes absolute sense. So that is on the horizon. Now, we've got some bigger news out there, which directly affects everyone. We've got changes to submarines, and these will be applied to dive capacity, upgrades, and just about every other parameter, as well as ASW upgrades, depth charge, airstrike changes, and adjustments to bombs and rockets. And it seems like Wargaming is having a very hard time with submarines right now. No surprise there. I mean, we've known they're coming for how long? 2 years now? Maybe going on 3. They've been working on them that long, and understandably, they want to get these right. I mean, if you don't get these right, there's a lot riding on this, and it can either make or break the game, or a better thing to say would probably be sink the game. If they don't get submarines right, it's not going to be good. And I think they want to make absolute sure they're going to get them right, and that they make sense in the way that they play, and they have a positive impact on the game rather than a negative impact. So submarine parameters that have changed mostly are going to be sonar pings. A lot of the ships have had their sonar pings either decreased by a couple tenths of a kilometer on the American side, and on the German side they've actually been increased. I guess one side was a little too strong and the other side was just a little too weak. They've also adjusted detectability range by air and other submarines when making sonar pings in smoke. So similar to firing your weapons in smoke, since submarines really don't have weapons to fire that are visible, sonar pings are what they're going to use. And I don't get this mechanic. It really doesn't make sense. I mean, if you're emitting a sonar ping in smoke, it's not like you can see that ping if you're an enemy. I mean, it's an acoustic effect. So, you know, smoke shouldn't really be dependent, or it shouldn't be dependent on smoke. But this is the direction they chose with this mechanic. It sounds a little odd. I get that. I know it. I guess they have to have some way to balance things, and this is it. So, once again, a slight decrease in detectability for U.S. ships, which I guess they deemed were too high, and an ever so more slight decrease for German submarines, which I guess they thought were too high. Dive capacity on some ships has been reduced. For the I keep saying ships. It's unnatural to say submarines for me. It's going to take a little while to say submarines, but they go by dive capacity in units, and ships like, or there I go again. See, submarines are just unnatural. It's going to take a little while. Subs like the Salmon and U-69 have been reduced from 420 to 400 units, and you know, I just, again, it's an odd way of just it's an odd metric system. Units, 420 to 400 units. I know it's going to be a rough change for some of us, I think. Other changes: speed of torpedoes changing depth is now approximately 2.5 times higher on average. So that's a pretty big change right there. For all submarines, detectability range after emitting a sonar ping now increases to a flat 4 kilometers rather than the detectability value of the submarine on the surface. So everything is the same across the board. The width of the sonar ping and its impact radius has been increased 1.5 times for all submarines. So the pings are going to be even wider, easier to hit ships. I guess they deemed that it was too hard to hit ships. I don't know. They want to make it easier for more players, I guess. Speed of any sonar ping emitted on the surface will be the same as it would be underwater for U.S. submarines. It'll be a static 600 meters per second, and for German submarines 500 meters per second, because I guess sound travels differently depending on what nation you are. That's another mechanic that doesn't make absolute sense, because sound is sound and it travels the same. It doesn't change because one nation has better stuff than other. Oh god, I need to stop. Upgrades for submarines, specifically unique variants of the steering gears, have been added. These will have names and icons different from the similar upgrades of surface ships. Anti-submarine warfare upgrades have been changed. There's a ASW modification 1 for slot 3. This has been moved to the 4th slot, and this is just dealing with actual ships. Following bonuses, plus 25% to the HP of depth charge aircraft, airstrike aircraft, and, you know, this is... We're getting into the minutia now. Essentially, there's more changes coming to submarines and for anti-submarine warfare. Other changes: added the fragmentation area of damage to submarines for AP rockets and bombs, and some small changes made to the sizes of fragmentation area of submarines for HE rockets. Blah, 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 blah. Alright. Bottom line is, things are still being changed. I know these are coming very soon to ranked gameplay. It's right around the corner. But with all these changes going on, I really am starting to wonder if that is a good idea at this point. Because it doesn't seem like these submarines are any closer to being ready for the game. And I know that this hasn't been rushed because they've been working on this for several years. But my question is, with all these changes once again, it makes you ask, are submarines really a good fit for the game? And can they be made to work? I know Wargaming has this problem where they try to fit something that really shouldn't be fit into the game. And once they make that change, they don't go back on it. And I mean, aircraft carrier is one example. I know a lot of people got ticked off about the change. And now it looks like submarines are the next big thing. Well, they are the next big thing. And it's looking like that they are going to make these work come hell and high water, regardless. It's like that scene from Jurassic Park. You were so busy focusing on whether or not you could, you didn't ask yourself whether or not you should. And I feel like we have reached that point with submarines. Yeah, they can do it, and they are doing it, but the better question and the more important question is, should they do it? I know some players are looking forward to it, so I don't want to make this sound like, you know, I'm like pouncing on the submarines. I'm indifferent right now, I really am. I haven't played them enough lately to really give an opinion on them either way, though I do worry that they are going to change things massively, and they aren't a good fit. But we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. And I know there have been mixed reviews on submarines from people that have been playtesting them lately, their impacts and everything else. So it'll be interesting to see. I have my doubts. I'm a little worried. I hope they work out. I really do, for the game's sake and the player base's sake. But time will tell. Anyhow, these are your updates. Let me know what you think about all of them. And I'll catch you later. Zoop out.